Good afternoon, everybody. Fayman Steve here once again. Happy Mother's Day to you mothers who are out there watching. It is Sunday, the 11th of May. This is going to be a little tinker update of my Patton Livery box fan here. If some of you are new to the channel, I acquired this fan sometime last year. I do believe I got it off of eBay. This is a little bit more of an unusual motor to this, at least from what I had seen. This is a Fasco motor, and the fan runs really well electrically. However, the fan makes a little racket as it's running, and I could never quite get to the bottom of what the problem was. Now, there are four clips that go around the motor housing here that hold the back cover into place. The front here looks like it's pretty much sealed off. Now, the other motors that I had seen to this, which are blue, they come apart from both sides. This one, however, is a little bit more unusual. Go ahead and I'll show you the wiring diagram and all here. If this stupid phone will focus. Okay, so there's the information tag. I may have to put that in the description. But this motor was made specifically for this fan, as well as it says Patton Electrical Corporated on it. Has the model number and everything. Motor appears to be in really good shape. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it has something to do with the bearings. I have oiled it at least a couple of times, and it was still making that irritating racket. As you can see, here are the clips, and I figured out how to get those out just now. Many years prior to this, there was a video on how to disassemble these motors. And you basically just take like a flathead screwdriver, and you just very carefully stick it in there. Try not to damage the windings or anything, and you very carefully just give them a good tug, and then it comes out. And I just now got those removed. Now I'm going to remove this back cover here, and we're going to see what the motor looks like on the inside. Okay, so now I finally have the motor apart. There is the back cover. Everything that's to be expected. There, it has the little pregnated bushings inside. The bearings, bushings, whatever you want to call them, and it has the felt material inside. This is to maintain lubrication and to prevent the oil from spilling out into throughout the motor. And it doesn't look like it's really dirty, but it definitely could stand a good cleaning. Okay, so here's the back, and there's the inside. Windings still nice and shiny. I don't see any loose wires in the stator. Let's have a look at the rotor now. Okay, so here is the rotor, and um, the back side of the shaft looks like it's perfectly fine, and there are the fiber washers, and they look like they're perfectly fine. They don't look worn or anything. There is a little bit of a scoring here, but I'm sure that that's nothing I can't fix. I think that all this needs really is just a good cleaning. Basically, all I need to do is just take some light sandpaper and very carefully, very gently sand that down, and I'll clean it with some 3-in-1 oil. Um, I would like to clarify exactly of what the cause of the rattling was. I even removed the blade, thinking that maybe that was what was part of the problem, and the motor was still noisy. There's the front bearing there. Alright. Well, let me get this thing cleaned up here, and I'll take the fiber washers off, and I'll give those a good cleaning, and clean both the front and the back bearings, and I'll get this thing put back together and see if there's any difference. Okay, I am not exactly sure if you can see it, but there's a spacer right there that was sandwiched in between these fiber washers. You see how badly deteriorated it is. I mean, I could just take my fingernail and just barely touch it, and it comes right off. Well, the others, however, seem to be perfectly fine. I have them over here. I went and I cleaned those up. Those were a little dirty. They were kind of covered with crud and dirt and stuff like that, particularly after years of just oil and whatnot. So I'm going to see if I can try to get that removed, and then I'll replace it with another fiber washer that I've got. I cleaned the shaft here. Just took a piece of sandpaper and very gently sanded that down. I got it cleaned up. The back looks like it's pretty good. Sorry that it's hard to see anything. This POS phone here. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully this should make a difference.